A new week. How exciting is this? What are we going to do this week? Where are we going to go? What are we going to achieve this week? What should I do this morning? If I changed the way I did that, I might be able to work a little bit more efficiently or something. This weekend was a useful reminder to me of something that I really, well, not only should know, but I do know. But like so many things in life, just because we know something doesn't mean we do something. And just because we know something doesn't mean we remember to implement it in our lives. I got stressed. It's been building up last week. Saturday, I got stressed. Friday night and Saturday, I got stressed. Little things, tiny things. And my first response to that was, I need to do that slightly differently, and I need to do this slightly differently. That wasn't it was an understandable response, but not an enormously useful response. My first thought was how to deal with the small picture because I'm stressed. Instead, I should have been thinking, how do you deal with the bigger picture? So, if I'm obsessed, do I take this train or that train? And I don't think where I'm trying to get to, it doesn't really matter a damn which train I catch. If I think the new British Prime Minister apparently is going to be announced today, because the British Prime Minister is not elected by the British people, of course. The British Prime Minister is selected by a very small number of party members who are almost entirely old white rich men. Apparently that's because Britain's a democracy. People don't get to choose their own prime minister. But somebody was talking about the problems the new prime minister is going to face. And they talked about this problem and that problem and this problem. And I went, cool, those are all big problems. You haven't mentioned the impending environmental catastrophe. None of the little things that you're thinking about, although each big in their own way, none of them matter a damn if your country is wiped away by storms and floods. Sometimes you've got to step back and go, what am I actually trying to achieve, either with this project or even with my life? You see, I'm an artist. That's 30 years of my life, 35 years of my life have been dedicated to full-time professional art making, training performers, directing performances, writing about performance, all of those things. These days, because I don't travel anymore, or at least very little, I am working still as an artist, but my work now spreads into the area of coaching and mentoring. It's a different way of doing the same thing. The problem is I'm so busy trying to work, I forget to make any art. So on Saturday, when I'd encountered stress, luckily I had one of those moments where I go, what am I actually here for? What's the point of actually being alive today? So I sat down and drew some pictures. Not for you, you'll never see them. Not for anyone. They're not for sale. For me. Because you see, I'm an artist. That's a big picture. Then, when I have realigned with my purpose, the small things, the smaller things, they're big enough things, but the smaller things begin to reveal themselves. Go, yeah, actually, you should do it this way, not that way. Or try this, not that. There's no point in getting obsessed by the small things if you don't from time to time step back and say, what am I actually trying to do? I call that purpose. It's not a personal mission statement. It's not your LinkedIn or Facebook biography. It's your feeling of rightness, that sense of going, this is who I am. Sitting at my little art desk there on Saturday, spending the whole morning drawing pictures, listening to music that I love, reminded me of who I am. That's who I am. And everything else follows from that. As we start the new week, I encourage you, step back and ask, am I going actually in the right direction? What is your purpose? What is your big picture? What's the destination you're heading towards? And then the small choices will become much more obvious to you. On Friday, I'm closing applications for the small group coaching course that I'm running this autumn because it starts next Tuesday. I have a couple more calls with people today. It's not full yet, but it's getting that way. I'm only taking 8 people and I've got about 5 or 6 at the moment. Depends on who comes through. if you're interested, get in touch with me today. We'll set up a call. We'll have a conversation about whether or not it's going to suit you. Drop me a message. But whatever you do today, sometime just step back and say, what's my purpose? Not a mission statement. That feeling of rightness. Are you living the life you want to be living? I send every single one of you love and respect.